Hey everyone, I'm Xonani. Welcome to my new video. In this video, I will talk about how I use my sketchbooks. This means how I use them right now, how I used them before this, and why I changed it, and what I think we need when we work in sketchbooks, if you need more than one sketchbook. About all these things I will talk in this video. Right now I have 3 sketchbooks I'm working in all of the time. Let's start with this one. This sketchbook is my sketchbook where I put all my ideas in. A few swatches or sketches, ideas for paintings, notes, very rough sketches. I try out brushes in here, or paints, or here another idea, notes for my spring flush challenge for my patrons in spring, portfolio ideas, sketches before I do the proper paintings. As you can see, in here are a lot of rough stuff. Not really, okay, I took this with me to an art market and this was the only sketchbook I had with me. Only sketches in here for ideas. And I think it's really important to have a sketchbook where you can put anything you want in it without thinking too much that the pieces have to be good or not. So you can see here, I tested out how I wanted to have a character, and this was a process, and I do it in here. The sketchbook here is the Arrtx Mixed Media Sketchbook, and it has really nice paper for all different medias. It is a bit wavy. I started it and I wanted to paint everything in it, also proper works, and I do. If I only have the sketchbook by hand, I would do something more rendered in here. This is no problem. I can do everything in here. But because if you go on 2 pages on the whole spread, if you use wet medias, it could be that the pages come out very easily. It's like glued here, only glued. It's meant to be like this, that you can pull out the pages you don't like, or for notes or for something. But this is why I don't go over 2 pages on a spread here in the sketchbook, and that's why it became my sketches sketchbook. My idea sketchbook, and I do need something like this. And then I have this little sketchbook. This little sketchbook is always in my bag. It's always in every bag I have with me when I go outside. If I have any appointments or go to friends or wherever I go, this is with me. Even if I not even touch it, it has to be with me. And if I feel like I could make a sketch, or I have an idea and I want to write it down and make a list, or I have this supply here and I want to swatch it, then I take it out of my bag and I can sketch. And this is exactly what this is for. Rough sketches in the animal park, or idea sketches if I'm somewhere and I just want to get my head free, so I'm sketching in here, or going nature sketching, or with a friend out in the nature. Or sometimes I'm sitting on the couch and I don't want to sketch big. I take this with me, and this was on the Campus Con here in my town. Sometimes I do a bit more rendered stuff. sometimes not, just ideas which are not good and don't have to be something. Only if I have something in my head, I can pull it out and start sketching, as you can see here. And this is an art creation from Royal Talens, and this is one of my most favorite sketchbooks because it's a mixed media sketchbook and it's very cheap and I'm not too precious with it, and I can use everything I want in the sketchbook, every media I want. And this is really cool to have with me. And the third sketchbook here is my sketchbook. Okay, I wanted that I could do everything in it, but I don't do rough sketches and idea sketches in it like I would do in these ones. Here I can do like proper works, things I enjoying right now, test things only to get my head free. I often take this also to friends if I know I'm staying there for a few hours and I will paint there, then I will take this one. This is when I want to sketch at home, want to paint at home, don't want to use individual paper for this, only chill on the couch and drawing or painting. Here are also sketches in it, rough sketches in it, but not too much. Here I practice. This is more for practicing my skills and work more on my ideas, which are in sketches in these books. I can do paint in here, and perhaps some ideas I developed in this sketchbook and then in this sketchbook came to life on a canvas in acrylic. So this is a process. And I have also swatches in here, like these swatches, because this is the Strathmore mixed media and it has cotton paper and I really like to work in it. It has a few cons also, not only pros for me, but I really like it and I like to work in it. And I mostly work on cotton paper for my watercolors and my work I want to sell, and it's good to test colors on a paper which is similar to other papers I'm using for my proper work. I don't know if I can say this. As you can see, a lot of stuff, and here I tested materials like acrylic markers and new watercolors, and you have seen me painting this last week. All of the stuff is in the sketchbook and I'm enjoying it a lot. This is a more beauty sketchbook. Okay, there are also swatches and sketches and stuff like this. This is okay because it's a sketchbook, but in this one, because also of the format, these are smaller and I have more space in here. So that's why I like to paint more seriously in this one, because of the format, because of the size. And these are my sketchbook I regularly work in my normal practice sketchbook life. So sketches and everything I want, and scribbles and notes and ideas, and more practice, re-practice with wet medias, and work on ideas more proper works, on more detailed works, serious works, which I also can scan in and make prints out of it in this sketchbook. And before I had these, I only had one sketchbook for all of this. And this was this sketchbook. Here is everything inside: swatches, sketches, notes, rough sketches, and also nice, more detailed rendered work. Everything I wanted to sketch, I sketched in here. And I mostly had it with me. I guess I didn't had a small sketchbook to this time. I only had the sketchbook for everything. And this is something I missed after I finished this one, to have a sketchbook for everything. Oh, no, this is not true. I also had this one, a sketchbook for everything, and a sketchbook for more practice and proper works like this. This is the Arrtx Everyday Sketchbook with cut-in paper. It's really expensive. I think it's the most expensive. No, not really, but it's a very expensive sketchbook, and I was very precious with it, and I only painted really thought out pieces in here, or I used it for YouTube videos like this, for example. And I always had something like a plan for all these pages, and all pages are somehow nice and beautiful. I had a sketchbook for all the more proper works and more the planned works, and a precious sketchbook, and a sketchbook for everything. I think this is really good to have a sketchbook for sketches and ideas, and where you can go wild and do everything you want in a sketchbook, and then sketchbook for special needs. And this is a sketchbook for special needs with cut-in paper, and I really love to work with watercolors, and that's why I had a watercolor sketchbook, because this is okay for watercolors as well. And I also used it a lot here, gouache, for example, and I use it for watercolors. And the paper is not too wavy. It's okay, but the nice flow and all the special things which makes watercolor so unique, you can only really see on a good cut-in watercolor paper, and that's why I choose this for this reason. So this was my previous set to work on, and this is right now same difference. A sketchbook with good cut-in paper where I can do proper work and try out things and practice stuff, and for sketching and notes and ideas something else. I think this is a perfect combo. And then you can also have sketchbooks for in between, and I have a few. And the thing is, this was not on purpose. It happens because I have a lot of sketchbooks and I love sketchbooks. And if I'm at an art supply shop and I see a new sketchbook I'm very curious about, then I buy the sketchbook and I want to test it. These are those sketchbooks that I somehow like, that I somehow tested, and I use them here and there if I'm in the mood to work in them, because they are special. For example, I have this, and I started it, I think, in the beginning of 2024. And this paper is nice. It's a Stimmen and Burn mixed media sketchbook with this very, very good thick paper. It's cellulose paper, I guess. And it's really good for gouache. Not so good for watercolor, I think, but very good for gouache. Perhaps now I love gouache more. Perhaps I use this more. I don't know. I painted also in watercolor, and colored pencil are in this sketchbook really nice. I don't know what it is. Perhaps the format, the square format. I don't know. I like square formats and I think it's really cool, but somehow I don't get warm with it and I don't use it a lot. This is the Onion Skin Journal. I was influenced by Sophie McPike, and thought it's super cool. And it is super cool. And it is a lot of fun to work in it, and it's different. It's different to work in it. These are these very thin, transparent papers. And I think you can do a lot of cool stuff with it, but the time hasn't come yet. I tried it out. I used a lot of medias. I discovered which medias I like in here and which I don't. And yeah, I think the time will come for this one. Special needs sketchbooks, as I said before. And the Ohuhu mixed media sketchbook. I really, really like this paper. It's a really nice paper. It's similar to the paper from the Arrtx mixed media. It's a bit more white. And the Arrtx mixed media is a bit, is similar. But I think it's a bit thinner, but it's really similar. It feels similar to work on it, especially watercolor and wet medias feel very similar in these both. And I really love this paper, and I would buy a sketchbook for everything like this sketchbook, where I put everything in, sketches, notes, proper works, and I almost only use this one for every day. And I could imagine to have this mixed media paper, this Ohuhu sketchbook, for a sketchbook like this, because you can do everything in and I'm not too precious with it. The only reason I don't use it so much is it's ring bound, and I don't like ring bound sketchbooks. So I do use it for special projects like Inktober. This was Inktober here, or trying out medias, new medias, or try out ideas. I also use it, but not so much and really rarely, because I have other sketchbooks right now for these things. And the last here is a self-made sketchbook I made in a little bookbinding workshop. And I used this for, I wanted to glue stuff in it, paint on top in it. I think this will be a sketchbook where I want to explore more. Yeah, not junk journaling, not really. Yeah, an sketchbook with more journal character, if this makes sense. So if I feel something and I want to get it out, this would be the sketchbook where I can be absolutely free and glue stuff in, like this craft paper here and other things, perhaps, diary sketching. I don't know. This would be the sketchbook I would use for, and I didn't use it a lot, sadly, but I will. And these sketchbooks are all sketchbooks I will use here and there, but not regularly. I think everybody has sketchbooks like this, perhaps not. I have, but most of the time I have 2 or 3 running sketchbooks at a time. Before these sketchbooks, I had these. Yeah, I remember these sketchbook together because this was so big. Also an art creation from Royal Talens. I use this also for everything, but at home, as you can see, very rarely I took it with me to friends when we stayed there for longer than an hour and I knew I can draw there and I can paint there and I have enough time and it makes sense to use this big one. Here, a lot of sketching ideas, also proper works, sketching. Everything I want is in here. I tried a lot out in here, sketched, swatched, and I had this small one which was always in my bag. Like this one here, I explored for myself these nice pencil holders. I think this is really practical. I have always a pen with me and it makes it so much easier. I really like these pencil holder thingies. It's really nice to have on your sketchbooks. I can recommend this. I think this is a game changer. Yeah, as you can see, this was my set before, small and big. And in this case, I had sketchbooks where I could do everything I want in it. No special sketchbooks, like a special watercolor sketchbook with special paper. This developed over time because to this time I was not a serious watercolor painter. I experienced watercolor for myself and I haven't tried good cotton paper yet to this time. Not really. I had a block of cotton paper with loose paper for individual paintings, yes, but not in sketchbooks. I preferred the Artcreation ones. And before that, this is what's really interesting. This is a really old sketchbook. Before of all these sketchbooks, I used to have a sketchbook for only pencil sketching, for all my ideas. I painted a lot with acrylics on canvas or made big works on individual papers, mainly with acrylics. And here are all my ideas, all my sketches for everything is in here, only in pencil, only pencil sketches, as you can see here. And this is what I used my sketchbook for. And during my time on YouTube, I was influenced, I think, a lot from other artists who use their sketchbooks for nice, colorful works. And I found it so nice and inspiring. And then I started to have sketchbooks like these. And I need something for idea sketches. And this is what this was before. And also the sketchbooks before these, I don't know when this was. I think this is a sketchbook from 2020, 2021. And all of these came later. And before this, these were my sketchbooks. I loved it also ring bound. And here you can see only pencil sketches, ideas. This is how I used my sketchbooks. Costume ideas, doodles, and everything I had in my head. This is before this. I have no idea when, but this is older than 10 years or roughly 10 years old. 10 years ago, I used to use my sketchbooks like this. And I developed to the more colorful sketches and to use more medias in my sketchbooks until I come to this point right now. And I have to say it's really individual how you use your sketchbook, of course. But for myself, I experience that I like to work also in bigger formats from time to time. And this one is a very nice size, but it could be bigger, like this one. I really enjoyed this format, but this is a really thick and heavy sketchbook. And also this one has 80 pages, what makes 160 pages, single pages. which makes it really thick and really heavy. I thought about to use the Artcreation again and split it in half somehow. I don't know how to do it. I already have an empty one at home. But we will see what comes next. I'm not sure yet. I have a lot of sketchbooks here, which I haven't touched yet, and I really want to try. And I really enjoy this one, so I'm fine with it to work in it a lot longer, and I have a lot of pages left. So I experienced that I want to have a bigger one and I want to have a small one, because I'm enjoying both. And it's good to have something which fits in the smallest bag and you have it with you all the time. For ideas, I think this is a really useful sketchbook where I can put everything in. And this one always lies next to my favorite place on the couch. And if I have an idea, I can grab this and sketch very fast my ideas in this book. And then I can say, okay, I will remember, and then I can go on to this project on another day. Because mostly I have my ideas in strange moments or in the evening when I'm really tired and I can't start a project now. Then it's good to have a sketchbook like these to sketch the ideas really fast in it. I hope this is helpful for you if you don't have a sketchbook habit yet, or if you don't know how to use your sketchbooks. Perhaps this is inspiring for you and you can try it out. Perhaps you can develop then your own way to use your sketchbooks out of this. Sometimes you need only to have the idea first and then try it out and see what fits best to you. And this is what fits best to me. I think there are a lot of sketchbooks out there where you can find the sketchbooks for your needs. I made videos about different sketchbooks, what the pros and cons are. Did I? I think I did. And about these sketchbooks in particular, these art creation sketchbooks, why I love them so much. You can watch the videos if you are interested in this. So I hope you enjoyed this video and it was interesting for you, even if I haven't painted in this video. Sometimes we have to talk about things, different things like sketchbooks, for example. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a like. Also subscribe if you haven't already, then you can't miss any videos. And this also helps the channel grow. Thank you so much for your support. And a big thank you to my wonderful patrons. You are truly amazing. Thank you so much for being with me and for supporting me. Then have a great week, my friends. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.